I'm going to be discussing conscious conception and specifically how to amplify your aura around the time of ovulation in order to call a high soul in during the sexual encounter. More information can be found in my book, Mystical Motherhood, which take readers step by step on how to create a conscious child from before conception to the early childhood years. Conscious conception involves preparing your body for intercourse and generating a great amount of internal energy for expansion of the auric field. When couples have sex, at least in the Western world, it is typically unplanned and followed by a heavy dinner and drinks, which is the exact opposite of how things should occur if you're intending to do this mindfully or you're ready for conscious conception. For most couples, intercourse is usually short and does not lead up to the degree of pleasure which it actually can have between two people. If you're watching this, you're likely interested in conscious conception, and I'm going to provide a few very simple steps that you can take before the time of ovulation in order to optimize the sexual encounter in the hopes of conceiving. When you amplify your auric field, or your energy field, in other words, you create a higher frequency. And when you do this, you have a better possibility of conceiving a child who can match that frequency or even increase it. Even if you are conceiving using technology such as IVF, you can still amplify your field beforehand and connect to your partner no matter what your sexual preference is. First, I'm going to start by talking about the sacred 72-hour window before your ovulation period, or within the ovulation period. It's about 3 days, obviously. You want to work up to this point of conception by connecting to your partner and creating a high amount of energy together. You do this by loving each other. You do this by loving yourself. You don't want to have a lot of sex during this period. You just want to have one important sexual encounter that will be incredibly pleasurable and a very high experience for both of you in order to call this soul down. You also don't want your partner to ejaculate up to a week before this so that he has really, really strong sperm. In the 72 hours before ovulation, you want to amplify your energy through a lot of internal and self love. Focus on increasing your auric field, which is your energetic body, through long, deep breathing, breath of fire, chanting, meditations, yoga, long walks, baths. You can rise in the morning to meditate and even just appreciate life. Give thanks for the things that you have. Think good thoughts. Feel happy throughout the day. Walk in nature. Write poetry. Give poetry to your love. Massage yourself and then massage your partner. The purpose of this is to increase your frequency to a high level in order to increase the likelihood of bringing down a high soul. If you want your conception to be different than every other act, you have to show up differently and extend yourself beyond the usual. You can flirt with your partner by texting or going out to dinner. You can be more romantic. And you just want to make sure that your minds are aligned and that the mental frequency is flowing between the two of you without any problems before you actually have the sexual encounter. So, all of these things can be done within those 72 hours. On the day of your actual sexual encounter, don't make love on a full stomach. The sexual act is the most important part, and then you can go out to dinner afterwards. Make your bedroom into a temple. You need to close all the doors. You need to make sure that the area is clean. Make sure that if there are any counters, all the counters are clean and there's no clothes on the floor. And it becomes a sacred temple of worship for the two of you. And also, if you're having IVF, to go back to this, you can amplify your field in the same way, and you can still connect to your partner on this in a similar manner. It's important that you both have that activation going so that you're calling in a high soul. Before your sexual encounter, stimulate the following areas in this specific sequence, in this specific manner. You can do this for about 30 minutes or preferably more, a minimum of 30. And you want to do this in order to amplify the sexual field between the two of you. You also don't want to have any drugs or alcohol involved in this event, and preferably if you're doing this consciously for abstain from these things long before you actually conceive a child. For the man to the woman, you want to stimulate these zones in this specific order: breast from the outside inward, touch the lower spine, or from the lower neck up to the spine. Then you touch the lips, the cheeks, ears, the spine, thighs inside on the, to the outside, the calves, and finally the clitoris. From a woman to the man, you stimulate these zones in this specific order. Massage the head and the hair, then the lips, then top of the neck down the spine, because men are often caught in their heads. Roll the fascia down the spine very smoothly. Stop at the buttocks and massage. Massage inside the thighs, then the testicles, and finally the penis. This is a specific manner because it amplifies your auric field before the sexual encounter in a certain way, so that your auras and you actually combine. And if your mind is combined and your soul is combined and your spirit is combined, and you're calling in a high soul together, it is going to make a different effect than actually just having a sexual encounter without any conscious attributes to it. While you're making love, you want to call the baby in. Actually, in your head, you're going to allow the child to come in. And likely, if you have any connection, you'll know that you conceived. You'll just know it. And make sure you write the day down. And in my book, Mystical Motherhood, I explain why you want to write the day down later, because it's a yogic reason you want to find out when the soul will come in the body later. And after you have sex, you remain in the meditative state. I have so much more to teach you. So please subscribe or check us out online. You can find us on Instagram or on Facebook. And more information can be found within Mystical Motherhood, which is available for purchase on Amazon.